All right, so this is the court registry investment system. It's called the look it up, Chris, court registry investment system. All right, court registry, and what do you mean investment system? All right, so somebody put this on the internet. All right, somebody put some shit on the inside, put it on the internet. People don't take it serious. But you can see right here, these are look at this, a penalty, 135 million. And you can see right here, here's the CUSIP and block numbers right here. CUSIP numbers, and here are the case numbers, par values of all the cases. They got juveniles on here. Where's them juveniles? A lot of these like juveniles. Weekly operating statistics, liquidity fund, income allocation, case deposits, case withdrawals, total number of cases, amount available for investment. Okay, now I'm going to take you over to another video called the Judge's Slush Fund, all right, where it shows that these are private trading companies. Somebody did a Freedom of Information Act request and got the EIN number for the court and pulled up all type of shit. If the information's out there, if you're really interested in doing this, you don't have to speculate on none of this shit. I don't like speculating. This is the money that they making. It's called, you can look it up right now, Court Registry Investment System. Court Registry Investment System. Here go the Middle District of Georgia, Court Registry Investment System. Chris, y'all got them. So what are they investing? What they had none of this? What are they, if this what make it look stupid for these attorneys to be talking like they talking? Because they got to operate under plausible deniability. They can't. What they had none of this? What are they, if this what make it look stupid for these attorneys to be talking like they talking? Because they got to operate under plausible deniability. They can't hide shit from you. You just ain't digging. What do they invest? What they invest in, y'all? Somebody tell me. You putting a lien against yourself to stop this shit. That's commerce. It's the commerce game. This is why when you go in there and say, hey, let me get the bid bond. Everybody. Can I get the bid bond, sir? Just hit your attorney with it. Just be in a meeting with your attorney. If you got an attorney, just be in a meeting with him and he be there talking, telling you that bullshit. Yeah, I spoke to the prosecutor and, he's got a real offer for you. He's offering you, 25 years, 15 years probation. I think it's a real good deal. I think you should take it. And then you just hit him with, can I get the bid bond? I don't know what you're talking about. They can say the system here locally. The more y'all get into this and y'all research their roles and responsibilities up there, the more you're going to come across something. I hate to tell you this, but all your current judges are criminals. They're serial felons. Because they commit trust fraud every time they drag a living man or woman through that court that wasn't acting in commerce. That police officer, he does nothing more than aid in the process of extorting money from you on the side of the road by accusing you of commercial crimes that probably 95% of people, if not more, are not actually conducting commerce at the time of the stop, at the time they receive the citation. The officers, if you attempt to inform them of your rights or anything about law or legality, they want to mock you or they want to get an attitude, or if they don't get their way, like the information they're asking for, they want to turn violent, they want to act disrespectful and accuse you of a bunch of shit that just doesn't apply. So them in return are
that in every court in America, there is an insurance company for the court. Did you know that every court is insured by a privately owned insurance company?
Liability insurance.
Yeah, it's a company called CRIS, C-R-I-S, which stands for Court Registry Investment System. CRIS is an important insurance company that insures all courts in America.
All the admiralty courts in America have an insurance policy.
That's right. It's called Court Registry Investment System.
Wow.
And it's run by a secret group of bankers called CUSIP, CUSIP, which stands for the Committee on Uniform Securities Identification Procedures.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that if the judge can find you guilty. So what I'm saying is that there is an insurance company that is operating behind the scenes in courts where the judges are paid to find you guilty. And they are paid large sums of money at the end of the year of the Court Registry Investment System, which pays them a lot of money at the end of the year that you're not supposed to know about for finding you guilty. Why? Because your body is on security on the New York Stock Exchange.
You might say, whose often insidious craft had claimed a multitude of victims, even since the Middle Ages in Europe. One group of people hated and feared from Massachusetts Bay to Virginia. The magistrates would not burn them at the stake, although surely a great many of the colonists might have recommended such a solution. But this one group of people remained hated perhaps more than any other in our earliest American colonies. In the first place, our forefathers were baffled by them. Where did they come from? Of all who had sailed from England to Plymouth in 1620, not one of those two-legged vermin was aboard. That's right, vermin. That's what the colonists called them. Parasites who fed on human misery. That's what the colonists called them. Spreading sorrow and confusion wherever they went. Destructive. That's what the colonists called them. And still they were permitted to coexist with the colonists for a while. For a while. Of course, there were colonial laws prohibiting the practice of their infamous craft, and somehow a way was always found around the laws. In 1641, Massachusetts Bay Colony took a novel approach to the problem. The governors attempted to starve these devils out of existence through economic exclusion. They were denied wages. Thereby it was hoped that they would perish. 4 years later, Virginia followed the example of Massachusetts Bay, and for a while it seemed that the dilemma was resolved, but it was not. Somehow the parasites managed to survive, and the mere nearness of them made the colonists' skin crawl. In 1658 in Virginia, the final solution: banishment, exile. The treacherous ones, I'm quoting, the treacherous ones were cast out of the colony. And at long last, after decades of enduring the psychological gloom, the sun came out, and the birds sang, and all was right with the world. That elation continued for but one generation. I am not sure why the Virginians eventually allowed the outcasts to return, but they did. In 1680, after 22 years, the despised ones were readmitted to the colony on the condition that they be subjected to the strictest surveillance. Ah, how soon we forget. For indeed, over the next half-century or so, the imposed restrictions were slowly, quietly swept away, and those whose treachery had been feared since the Middle Ages ultimately took their place in society. Vermin is what they had been called. Parasites is what they had been called. Destructive is what they had been called. But these, the vermin that once infested colonial America, the parasites that preyed on the misfortune of their neighbors, until finally they were officially banished from Virginia, those dreaded, despised, inevitably outcast masters of confusion were lawyers, and now you know the rest of the story.